Welcome to the business simulation for this course. In this simulation, you will practice the guidelines presented in this lesson. You will meet a cast of characters who are employees of the fictitious Genrex Corporation, review their current business problems, and make effective decisions about the most appropriate course of action they should take. Simply review each scenario as it's presented, and choose the option you think best.
Thanks for coming here to help us out with your valuable advice. I am sure you will do a great job. I would like to introduce you to Tina and William. They are top performers in my organization and have just been promoted as managers. First, William and Tina will need some help getting started in their new roles. Can you please advise them?
Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. Catherine told me that you agreed to help us. Thank you so much. We are really excited to get started in this new role and want to do well. Tina and I were discussing what we should do first. I suggested that we set goals for ourselves so that we are clear about what to achieve.
William, goals are always derived from expectations. We haven't yet heard from Catherine what she expects us to accomplish. We need to set up a meeting with Catherine to clarify performance expectations first.
Tina, it's so clear what Catherine wants us to do. Why should we waste her time? I think she will be happier if we take some initiative ourselves.
I still think we must talk to Catherine first.
As you suggested, Tina and I spoke to Catherine and found out what she expects from us. Now both of us have set goals that we need to accomplish. Thanks for your advice. Catherine, Tina, and I are discussing setting targets. Please join us and give us your valuable advice. Catherine, we are setting targets to be achieved for the next 6 months. It should be good enough to track our progress. What do you think?
Well, what about a 90-day target? This will help you track progress closely and will help you discover mistakes early.
90 days would be too short to measure success. I'm not sure if I want to set such tight deadlines for myself. I want to take some time to meet my targets.
I second Tina. We wouldn't have done much in such a short period to measure success.
Looks like you haven't got my point. If you set short-term targets, you will be able to get feedback fast, and there is more time for recovery if you go off track.
This idea of 90-day target is really working out well. We are able to track our progress and fix issues early. Thanks for your advice. By the way, Tina and I are discussing ways in which we can learn our jobs. We need your valuable advice to do the right thing.
William, have you started your training sessions? I heard from Catherine that she has organized some training programs for new managers. We need to sign up for that, I guess.
I'm not sure if these training programs can teach us everything. I believe in self-learning, too. A lot of individual effort is needed to learn your job. So I have started speaking to a number of senior managers, and I'm trying to learn from them how they got started as a new manager.
Well, I don't think that will help much. Every individual is different, and they handle things differently. You really cannot go by what people say.
Well, I don't quite think like you. I have made a list of questions I have, and I'm going to find people who can give me answers to my questions. You can learn a lot when people share their experiences.
The training programs were insightful. However, I realize that this is not enough. Leadership needs to come from within, and for that you need to train yourself to learn your job. You need to talk to people and learn from them. William was right. Anyway, Catherine, William, and I are having an important discussion. Please join us. Catherine, I'm sure you know about this new project that we are working on. I have asked Justin and Hector to take up the late-night client calls. I have a personal commitment, and I am afraid I cannot stay late.
I don't think you have to. This is a chance for them to show their caliber. It's good for their career, too.
I'm sorry, I don't quite agree with you, William. Tina, isn't that an important client call? As a manager, you need to take the lead. You need to be there for the call.
I'm sure Justin and Hector don't mind. You can check with them.
Tina, I spoke to Justin and Hector and learned they are not very positive about taking client calls. What do you have to say?
I thought they would be happy to take the client calls. I know Justin and Hector are the key resources on my team, and I wanted to give them a good opportunity to interact with our clients. That's why I assigned them the task. I don't think I did anything wrong.
Justin and Hector weren't able to handle the call. Did you know that? There are some duties that are exclusively yours. You cannot afford to shift them to others.
I'm making a point to attend every client call and be with my team when they need me. Justin and Hector are really happy now and think I'm a good manager.
Tina, I'm glad you did the right thing.
The best, most effective teams tend to be found in the most productive workplaces. Why? Because it's natural for people to want to be competent and accomplished, to be needed and appreciated, to be excited about expending energy to accomplish worthwhile goals. Winning teams meet and exceed goals. As a new manager, you must know what makes a good team and take active steps to build a good team. In a successful restaurant, wait persons are sales agents. Their effectiveness in selling the restaurant's products is a large component in the restaurant's economic success. You can't expect them to fulfill this necessary function unless they are trained to do so. And you can't delegate any task or function to people who haven't been trained to perform successfully. Consequently, managers who don't train and develop their people have no one to whom they can delegate tasks and functions. The familiar concept of delegation advises that people be given responsibility and enough authority to get the job done. As often as not, delegation fails because of extenuating circumstances. Those circumstances usually boil down to a reluctance of delegatees to exceed the limits of their presumed authority. "Oh, that," the boss may say, "just take care of it." But taking care of it sometimes exceeds the delegatee's knowledge or abilities, or perceived freedom to act, and rather than risking being wrong, the hapless individual just lets things drop, and it doesn't happen. In such loosely managed environments, the chances are good that close scrutiny will show that the boss isn't clear about limits of operating freedom, doesn't reward success, and is quick to critique, if not punish, failed performance that reflects poorly on the manager. Talk about a lose-lose game for the employee. If you can measure success, you can tell with certainty which people consistently meet or exceed targets and which do not. People who perform well consistently are entitled to rewards, awards, or some kind of recognition. Their achievements should be celebrated. Click the images to learn more. Christy heads a large team in a multinational company. Her team is also one of the top performing teams in the entire company. It is interesting to note how Christy and her team celebrate their success. Christy takes care to keep track of how well they have done. She uses a lot of parameters to measure her team's achievements. She gives a lot of importance to figures that reflect the quality of work they produce. She also gives equal weight to team performance. She makes sure she keeps a record of customer feedback on their products and services and uses it to measure their success again. Whenever her team completes a project successfully, Christy throws a big party for her team members where they share their success stories. Christy's room has a whiteboard where every day she makes it a point to recognize at least one or two people on her team for their contribution. Christy is also very well known for her small yet significant gestures of appreciation. When her team was working all night on a project, all of them were moved when they saw goodies on their table the next morning with a thank you note. Her team members really enjoy working with Christy and speak volumes about her nice ways of celebrating success. Read the scenario and then click Next to begin the activity.